Greetings and welcome to Faction Masters Season 5, Game 19. Today we have for you the Cloaks, played by redhawk13, and the Skyspear Avians, being played by Run, and I am joined by Run for the commentary. Hello, Run.
Hello.
Glad to have you. Yeah, glad to have you with us, and we've got two factions here that both have a lot of movement tricks, a lot of assassination potential. Maybe you can tell us, do you think which side is favored in this matchup?
Yeah, I've made this joke on the Discord before, but this must have really rocked... What is it? Etharia? Am I saying the world correctly?
Yeah, I think so.
Rocked the world when these two came out, because what a frame shift from the factions that were in the Master set. They're the first two, right, that came out on their own, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, if we're counting the Tundra Orcs and Phoenix Elves, they were kind of a starter set release, but...
yeah, we'll count them too.
They were early in.
Very similar.
That's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, as you mentioned, very similar. Like, even they both move through units. They both shoot through units. They practically steal each other's tricks, but in such a different way. And as I go through, though, Avians, I think, have the lead on commons. If bird commons to stand up and shoot the Cloaks commons, I think they come out ahead. If you can afford all of them, the army's much more expensive. But man, everything else, I think the Cloaks assassination tools are scarier. Vlox brings a lot more power than Ava. So I'm looking at this thinking, I don't know that this is, I think that the Avians are the ones bringing the knife to the gunfight here in terms of just straight assassination showdown. So I'm going into this really planning to do more, I'm the economy defender, ranged battle, maybe using some assassination tools, but ultimately trying not to get too got by the Cloaks.
Okay, well, let's get started.
Favored? Probably.
Oh, sorry.
We'll see. No, yes, I don't have a preference for who's favored. We'll see.
Okay.
They're perfectly balanced. They were released together.
Great. Let's get it started here. Cloaks are going to go first. And adopting the famous vertical line formation. All in the same file. And then just to make it annoying for you, I'm going to throw a smoke bomb on the sniper in the front.
I'm already turn one. You know, I haven't seen this. I don't know if it's a common trick, but the only way not to take a passive here is to overextend the steward, and I didn't feel like doing that. So already down by one.
Fair enough. I see you buried one of your sky gates. You've got plenty of gates, though, so I don't think you'll miss that one.
Yeah, gates are doing fine. My general thinking is I need Ava active. I can't hide her the whole game. I wanted those spaces open for flight, but we're already getting some sneak attacks. I was thankful for the 0 out of 2, but that was a warning, and now I'm more or less playing scared for my life the whole rest of the game. We will remember that 2 damage later.
Okay.
Ava's scared, but not running. I still think it's best to keep her here, activating the steward. We're just, again, I'm cleaning, he's attacking. The gate on the side is to block any sneak arounds. Just a nice wall formation.
A very defensive setup here. You can't be backstabbed if you stay in the back rank, that's for sure.
That's the trick. Although this game is not a game that, you know, walls don't work very well in Summoner Wars. And he has his sappers busily chipping away. So I'm already sort of in crisis mode thinking, oh, this is Operation Wall is not working. So we're gonna have a very, let's see, this is 6.
Yeah, I like using the diver last so you can decide which target to attack, and now your choice is very easy. Put a little pressure on Vox,
you know,
Vox so he doesn't
hate to see it, but
doesn't get too adventurous.
I like divers on suicide missions if you sheet points on the summoner.
Got his own gate up there to block yours. Also going to make it a bit harder for you to fight for control of this square.
So we have a bird turn coming up, and then we have a cloak turn coming up.
Okay,
That's
you've
all
got
I'll
enough.
say about
You've got
that.
enough magic to summon the rook. If you want to get some kind of super combo here with Sky Assault, but
Well, at some point in the game, we're going to Sky Assault with Cyrek on Tivlox. And this isn't going to be the perfect bird laser setup, but
yeah, you can't
we have
shoot through
Cyrek,
your
we
own
have a Sky
sentinel.
Assault.
Yeah.
So I debated sending everything into Vlox, but decided the machinist had to die.
You can shoot through your own
And you can
sentinel.
shoot through a sentinel.
Okay.
Fun
Somehow
fact. Now,
I got
Sentinel's
that
my
a bit
favorite one
wrong.
in
Yeah.
He's if we can lead the charge, Sentinel Cyrek.
Very nice use
That's
of
my
Gather the
favorite.
Flock to occupy this
Absolutely
contested
block the
square.
gate.
Let's see here. Cannot be force
I was
moved
pretty happy with
through
this.
or attacked through by
Oh,
effects on
opponent charge.
opponent controls. Okay, okay. That's what I was thinking. So he can't shoot through the sentinel, but you can. All right, I'll try to remember that.
So I have a great cube here, thinking, well, we searched forward, we've captured a gate spot. Felt like he was forced now to contest. Sentinels blocking Cyrek. Cyrek might live through this mission, and we're going to have a little midfield tussle. We'll see who comes out on top.
Okay, and with Cyrek claiming the stalwart power, there's going to be no sniper fire through him to Ava.
Exactly.
Okay, we feel
We
pretty
left
safe.
the gunner alive so the machinist wouldn't summon on top of Cyrek. We're not safe.
Of course not.
Was feeling safe. In hindsight, it's obvious that I'm not.
Well, Ava doesn't have anyone protecting her back here, which means it's pretty easy to slide dagger over with the gunner. Well, you're halfway there. Oh, and with a little swapping around, now you're on the brink already. Pretty early in.
On the brink, Flox is safe, and he's missed one melee and those two sniper shots, so a potentially lethal amount of dice have been shot on Ava. Pause here if you would, if you get a chance.
Sure, I can do that.
So we got lucky here that I drew, I think, the best possible response to this in the two divers, which are going to soften up Simpson quite a bit.
I'm going to back up just a little bit, and we'll review your hand here.
Fine. The divers were 100% happening. I had no intention to do anything else. But I wanted to greed so badly because there's a 15% chance, it's horrible, to full clear everything. And I spent a long time deciding, is there any world in which Ava is safe staying there, Battle Song on Cyrek to throw his 5 into dagger, which isn't likely to kill, but could. And then Sin with the divers is killed, and perhaps even the gunner. But I think that's a bad idea. This is one of the moves that I would welcome community input for, but I ultimately wussed out. My wife was hearing some of this commentary, and this is a family-friendly stream, so she was questioning my testosteronal prowess, but I reminded her that birds have cloacas, so we don't compare size in Birdland.
All right. Well, let's move forward and see how it ended up.
And then I think there's an interesting decision with the battle song. Battle Song gets some flack because, it's an event for quote unquote only 3 dice. Sometimes it's an event for quote unquote only 1 die.
Sometimes you really need the 1 die.
Well, if Sensen doesn't die here, I feel really in deep trouble. And
Yeah.
if I win that coin flip, then I get an attack on dagger. So it's 5% increases to kill those two. But giving myself the opportunity for the coin flip seemed worth the event and the potential magic.
And you got some very good rolls there to get Sinsen in 1 hit and full hits on dagger also. It's going to be a lot harder for the Cloaks to get to you here. So he's going to have to just chunk through your guards here, for lack of a better word, through your front line, I would say.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Focusing on
We've got
Cyruk,
front
which
line,
makes sense.
And then we've got 10 health of Steward.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. I vainly hoped he might live. But he did not. Which is fair. I want Cyruk to kill 2 commons. He got 1 in a shot on blocks. He did okay.
You're really filling up the board here. It's got this big mass of birds.
That's exactly what we're trying to do. I feel very... Ava's wings are clipped. She's not in the fray. The birds can't fly. Stewards aren't worthy. And they're still numbers-wise strong, but without her support, the flock is a lot weaker.
Looking at your, we'll say, economy here, I feel like you're slightly behind on here, but on the board, so far ahead. With the Sentinels, the Sages, the Divers, this is like your front lines, your reserves back here. It's going to be really hard for Vlox to rip through those without some kind of a engineer, hand cannon, moto boots sort of combo for Vlox to start doing his hit and run thing. But with the way these gates are and the place where he is, it's going to be very hard for him to do that.
I was happy, of course, with having many birds on board, but exactly aware of that with machinists, hand cannons, blocks, they can do 6 attacks a turn. They can clean this up. They can summon a lot of meat.
It would be nice to see Redhawk's hand to see why he's not summoning engineers here. Maybe drew too many of them early and had to build them, or maybe he just has another plan in mind.
Your questions will be answered soon.
Okay. Chipping away at the edges there. Yep, almost
back and forth.
Almost freed his gate from your blockade.
Yeah, I'm just focusing units here, not interested in his gates, and figure just keep them clean.
Ooh, that was a nice one. Nice hit there.
I was trying to think. I think a 2-3 should beat a 3-2 most of the time.
Over time, yes, but it does make a difference who attacks first.
Absolutely.
Now Vlox sees that he's going to have to get in the action, although using the cover fire to keep him mostly safe. We do have another Sky Assault if you are ready to use it here.
We sure could. But yeah, I'm looking at the board and thinking, yeah, the stewards are good, but we had more birds a few turns ago. They are going down.
Ah,
Guilford's questionable. Yeah. Honestly, he's just summoned for stats. I'm just trying to muscle the win here. But he pushes the gunner into a shootable position, so...
So you see you're
justifiable, but
still focusing on his commons rather than bullying the bandit out of the way to get another shot on Vlox.
Exactly. I wanted the... If Guilford killed the bandit, hooray, but it was more important to me to just keep the board clean.
2 machinists now.
I forgot to point out, he discarded to 6 a turn ago, and that made me worried about Admiral swifting around, and that's why we blocked that spot with the Airy Gate.
Right.
Ava's completely in her cage now.
Blocks is getting really courageous here. Okay.
Well, Sky Assault's not too bad, because you have to fly to Sky Assault.
It's a lot of health points for him to get through, and he's slowly chunking through them. But, ooh, that's 1 out of 6 for Vlox on that turn.
That was very unfortunate. Oh, can you pause here if you get a chance to?
Yeah.
All right. That was not a spoiler for the puzzle. That was a... Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I'll walk it back a few to the beginning of the turn here.
That's fine. I just wanted to be completely honest that was a 75% chance to kill Guilford, and he's a dirty bird rat for being alive. And I thought that was, it was a very fair attack and could have cleaned up quite a bit. The puzzle for the crew is that there is a 83% kill shot on Vlox this turn. That isn't too hard to set up if you know it's there. People can pause if they want. But I couldn't figure out a way to do it and keep Ava 100% safe. And this turn I hem-hawed way too long on. But with 3 cards left, what I've been worried about this whole game, I didn't really mention this, is at 3 health, sniper hand cannon, Ava anywhere in the front line, regardless of how protected she is offering a shot for the kill. And I don't know what his cards were, but we haven't seen any hand cannons, and he's only summoned 1 sniper. So I was very worried that anything that moved Ava up that wasn't 100% safe was unnecessary risk. So there's this goofy-looking play instead that I go for.
Sure, and I think I'll just take a stab at the play you were referring to.
Oh,
I believe it involves Guilford flying over Vlox's head either to here or to here. Then you can shoot with the steward here. And Ava flies up to here to boost the steward a little bit. Quite risky, but that's the maximum dice I can see. Somehow your other battle song... Oh, you already built it. Okay, it's not in there.
Nope, there's no battle song. Yeah, it got built. You don't get enough odds. You need both stewards worthy. So Ava actually needs to get to B4 by gathering song that steward back.
Right.
And then you need steward on C4 and sage on C3, sorry, which you can actually do with Airy Gate and new bird summons. So by using gathering song to clear out, you get enough moves, and by using Airy Gate summons, you can put stewards in the right spot. That Vlox will be bullied onto C5 from our perspective,
because you
worthy stewards. Guilford shooting.
You can bully a summoner.
You can bully the summoner.
Yeah.
Doesn't come up much. So that's there. But I am too scared to take the shot. Thinking, I still think we're in the lead economy-wise. I'd rather be safe.
Let's see what you did instead.
Yeah. There's this questionable move.
Gather the Flock is a very versatile and powerful event. I'm a little embarrassed to say that I usually build it because it's hard for me to think of the best way to use it, but I like this Sky Assault here. This is a pretty good play. Focus on that machinist.
This was the way I saw to get a worthy dice on the machinist, but it was safe behind the 10K. And Guilford is safe-ish.
Well, if there's one trick the Cloaks don't have is getting past gates, especially these very chunky, high-health gates. You pretty much have to go around them or just knock him down somehow. Well, you're
I love
both
the
down
smoke bomb.
to only a few
I wasn't
cards,
seeing
but
that coming.
you've got such a big advantage on the board. Yeah, Vlox is
Yeah, I'm
really
pretty
running
sure
out
that
of
we still
options
have
here.
Admiral writing in there, and I'm still imagining lots of single file multi shots. So we're just
Well, with 3
doing
life on
a
your
slow
summoner, you can't be too careful. There's that sniper. He's forced to copy the sniper rather than the machinist just to keep the summoner safe, even though the machinist could have been more efficient for dealing damage. Gotta play it safe now. 1 card left in his hand. Probably not the hand cannon. Could have been a good play of it last turn. It could be one
I'm
more.
guessing it's because we didn't see a common summon.
It could be one last Out of Shadows also.
Absolutely.
Something that the avians really have in their favor is the ability to the mobility to just work around the walls. The cloaks are a little bit awkward here, trying to shoot through the gap and poke their heads around the corner.
Absolutely. I think the sniper was forced to come out that turn
Yeah,
versus take passive damage.
and there it is. I suppose there was a very, very small risk here in which somehow these 2 stewards fail to kill the sniper. Guilford fails to kill Vlox. He moves over here with his hand cannon. I don't know what the odds are. Probably less than 1%, but
It felt so ragingly BM to kill the sniper first, but it was, God forbid, Steward and Steward don't kill it.
you
Guilford
had
has
to
to
do
take
it.
the third shot.
No, that's for sure.
Yeah. But so worked out. And looking at it, yes, great. Birds were still on the board, so the econ advantage worked. But as the machinists were chewing through, I was really sweating. There was a halfway through the game, a big ho ho ho, don't blow this lead going on. A lot of pressure. Could have died on any turn, and the Cloaks really did their sneak attack to the fullest.
Great. Well, we'll look forward to seeing you in the next round in the semifinals. Any closing thoughts on this match?
No, I think we got. Thanks for the pauses there, and as mentioned, for some of those curious turns, I'd really love to hear what fellow bird enthusiasts think or advice that comes up. But it was a fun match, and thanks redhawk13 for the game. Really appreciate it.
Thank you too, Run. Always a pleasure. And thanks to all of our viewers. We will see you next time for more Faction Masters.